Good late night from Southeast Asia. I previously said we were in the South Pacific. We ain't. We don't know where the hell we are, but we're not in the South Pacific. We're north of the equator. Not much, but a little bit. Holy crap. Okay, we'd be doing aliens. Looking for aliens around the world. We found some. Maybe. Probably. Whatever. Okay. Let's see. This will be episode number 280. Oh, hell. Wait. Yeah, I knew that all the time. 283. Episode number 283 of the kind of the new versions of the, oh, hell. We used to call them the alien analprobe.com alien podcast things. And that's been all rearranged. So we don't, what the hell? Episode 283 of some aliens, okay? All right. Man, oh man. Picky people. All tapes are copyright 2024 by stockphotosworldwide.com. You can go there, or for the time being, until they jerk us and kill our channel, you can go to 10 Bears Travel Channel on YouTube. We don't know why. We don't know why. We're there. We do, sort of, but we're not going to say it out loud. Okay. Location. Spike Island, Cork Harbor, Ireland. Snake Island, Ireland. That's where all the snakes live. June 1914. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. And time is afternoon, because they didn't have clocks in 1914. Now, most of these are kind of a cold read for me. This is a database of 9,400 reports that may or may not be interactions with alien beings from, like the moon or something. We don't know. And most of them are kind of cold to me. This one is not. I've done this one before. Excuse me, but years and years and years and years ago. But I'm going to do it again. This one says, now I've changed the screen around a little bit so you can see this more easily on your little teeny tiny phone screen. You can follow along. Okay, this one says, the 6-year-old witness walking along a path located next to the sea, absorbed in her pastime with her eyes mostly on the ground. Pastime must have been like daydreaming. Pretty much what I did when I was. She happened to look up when she was about 5 yards away from the wall of a local doctor's house and saw something bizarre. Okay, that sets up the scene. We're waiting for the aliens. A strange figure was looking over the wall across the harbor to Cobb. Don't know. I'm sure there's snakes over there too. She walked a few more steps nearer before she realized that what it was. See, they're screwed up. You gotta correct these as you read them. Okay, she walked a few more steps nearer before she realized what it was. And then she became rooted to the ground with fear, as might I. It was not 10 paces away, and she could see it only too clearly. It must have been a very tall creature that was looking over the wall, because she could almost see it to its waist. How big is this wall? Doesn't say, does it? What if it's a 2-foot wall? Come on. See, we attack these. We pick them apart line by line by line because we're looking for made-up bullshit. We find it often enough, but... Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. And the wall was at least 5 feet high. Okay, so this thing is 10 feet tall. Okay, whatever the hell it was, it's 10 feet tall. It was in the rough shape of a human being. That is, it had a head and shoulders and arms. Basic humanoid. Though she did not see the hands, which were behind the wall. Well, that would scare you. That would scare you. Lucky some American cops didn't see that. They would have blasted the living smithereens out of that poor bastard. Okay, don't get me started. Except for 2 dark caverns, which represented the eyes, the whole thing was of one color. A sort of glistening yellow. I'm thinking like a salamander. As the wall was parallel to the road, and on her left, the thing was looking past her across the little road and straight across to Cobb. As the witness stood petrified, the thing began to turn its head very slowly toward her. At this point, the young witness heard a voice in her ear. Okay. Quote, "If it looks straight at you, Eileen, you will die." Okay, that's like her guardian angel telling her this shit. I mean, I've got one that talks to me too, so I'm not going to poo-poo this. Her feet seemed to be anchored to the ground by heavy weights, but somehow she managed to turn and run. She ran into a nearby cottage about 15 yards away. Her next memory was of Mrs. Riley, the owner of the cottage, sponging her face with water as she shook all over with shock and terror. Well, that's me. Age 5, age 6, yeah, that's me. No question. I wouldn't even wake up, hell. I just lay there and twitch until I died. She told Mrs. Riley that she had seen something dreadful in the doctor's garden. Mrs. Riley told the young witness that she was not the first to see it and would not be the last. Okay, that sounds like a scary damn alien to me. Not. Now, first time I read this, I puzzled over it. This was years and years and years ago. First time I went through this report, I puzzled over it. And I think, what the hell the doctor must have captured an alien. He's got it chained out there in his backyard, and they didn't know the little girl was coming, so he let it go for a little while to look around, something like that. No, I don't think so. I think, okay, here, I'm going to read the comment here first. It says, "It has become painfully clear that there exists in our midst terribly entities with boundless powers. We must thread," come on, people, "lightly upon encountering them." Okay, bullshit. Okay, maybe there's terribly entities, I don't know, but boundless powers, what powers did this thing exhibit? Didn't exhibit anything. It had a voice in her head, which could have been imaginary, told her not to let it look at her. We must thread lightly upon encountering them. Well, that goes, without saying. Okay, I interpret this differently now, years and years and years later. We're looking for aliens because we don't care about anything else. My hunch is, and what's going to be more plausible here? My hunch is this is a doctor. Doctors are often enough, especially in those days, doctors are, they will encounter from time to time really strange things that women give birth to. Google it. I'm not even going to go there. Just Google it. You want to know how strange? Google it. I'm not old enough to even tell you. And you're probably not even old enough to Google it. But every once in a while, some doctor will either take pity on the creature. The mother's like, "Oh, God, get it away, take it out of the room, kill it. And sometimes a doctor, and many doctors are pretty kind. They have a kindness to them. And they care about living creatures. Anyway, sometimes some doctor will see a creature like that get born. It might have 3 eyes and crab claws and, scream like a pony or something like that. You don't know. And the doctor will say, "Oh, you poor little bastard, your mommy doesn't love you. I don't know what we're going to do. The nurses, they just want to kill you. So I'm just going to take you home. I'm going to take care of you," because only a doctor can take care of something as fucking hideous as you. That can happen. Or sometimes a doctor will give birth to something like that. I mean, not the doctor gives birth to it. The doctor delivers something like that. And all the doctors today think that men can do that. Okay. And they don't have any empathy for the thing necessarily, but they're thinking, man, if I take this home, especially in 1914, nobody would give a shit. There's no papers, there's no nothing. They're thinking, man, if I took this thing home to my lab in my basement, I could study this hideous, hideous creature for as long as it lived, probably a month or something like that. And maybe I could write a paper on it, and I could be like famous and maybe even a little bit rich, And so some doctors in those days would take on projects like this. And it wasn't all that uncommon. Today, they would just get remanded to some government agency and they would dissect it and, would sell the parts or some damn thing. Who knows? But that's what I'm thinking probably happened here. This doctor delivered this creature, or his friend doctor delivered this creature, and they're thinking, what the hell are we going to do with that thing? And this doctor volunteered to take it home, and for whatever reason, maybe good or bad, we don't know. And apparently it just didn't never die, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and pretty soon, eventually it's 10 feet tall, and he lets it out every once in a while when he thinks there's nobody around. And unfortunately, this poor little girl was around, and she saw it, and other people saw it too. And that's my take on this. That's the most plausible explanation. I don't think there's aliens here at all. I think it was just that. And so we just delete that turkey thing and move right on. Okay, here's we did a little time warp. Here's something Cherepovets, I don't know, Russia. October 2nd, 1991, times 1800, because they got clocks. Local resident Mikhail, is that it? Mikhail. Oh, come on, please. Bogo Lyubov. Don't care. Mike. Local resident Mike was passing by school number 38, a lovely name, when his attention was focused on an uncommonly large star hovering above the building. There was a sudden green flash of light from below the star. Okay, I try to visualize this stuff, I'm seeing it. A large star hovering above the building. Okay, got it. Sudden green flash of light from below the star. Okay, got it. And the light began to spiral towards the ground. Okay, well, so far it's just a light in the sky. Around the same time, in another sector, teachers at school number 17 saw a large hovering disc-shaped object above the cinema area. Meanwhile, a schoolboy from the third grade spotted a short red dwarf running along the buildings. What the hell? Dragging what appeared to be a metallic object on one hand, or with one hand. Really? So we got a lot of shit going on here. We got the star and the green flash of light, and we got, over at the other school, we got hovering disc. Okay, and then another kid sees a red dwarf running along, like the top of the buildings or something? I don't know. Dragging a metallic object with one hand. After seeing the boy, the humanoid stopped and waved at him using extraordinarily long hands. It then ran up the wall. Okay, so it's on the ground, but now it runs up the wall. Because aliens can do that, and disappeared. Other students supposedly saw a similar humanoid, and the next morning the disc-shaped object was seen again above the buildings, and some humanoid figures standing on the top of a wall were also described. Okay, there's no notes on this. Came from UFO Zone, Russia. Okay. We're looking for aliens. Did we find them? I don't know. I don't think so. We found a crazy, stupid, undocumented story. Maybe it's exactly true and it was aliens, but there's not enough there for me to even say maybe. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, here's, I skipped around, This is a cold read as far as I know. Tonbridge, England, March 3rd, 1995, time is 0200 or 2 in the morning when everybody's drunk and on drugs. See if I remember any part of it. A Mr. Ruby was awoken by the sound of his dog barking frantically in his bedroom. Okay. Plausible so far. He could hear noises coming from the downstairs kitchen, as if chairs were being moved about. Burglar, get your gun. He got out of bed to investigate, thinking that a burglary was taking place. He armed himself with an old military police truncheon. What's a truncheon? What's a truncheon? I don't know. I got to go Google it. I don't think it's a gun. Before proceeding to walk carefully downstairs, he was more concerned about his little doggie, which had run down the stairs ahead of him. Okay. When he got to the kitchen, he turned the light on and was confronted by a figure about 5 feet tall, wearing what seemed to be an all-in-one silver suit. Okay. Wearing what seemed to be an all-in-one silver suit. Well, okay. I was just going through the motions on this. An all-in-one coverall silver suit kind of a thing has been reported more times than I can count. Out of my 9,600 reports, hundreds and thousands of reports from all around the world, every continent, almost every country, almost every language. People report alien kinds of things wearing silver coverall suit things. They usually say they're tight-fitting. This one doesn't say. That was not a common theme in sci-fi at that time. Not that common now. How would, going back 2,000 years, how would so many people from around the world come up with the same descriptions? A silvery suit, a one-piece coverall silvery suit. So people from all around the world, they're making that up. They're making up that specific thing from all around the world, going hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay, well, maybe they are. His dog was barking at the figure, but would not approach it. At first, the witness assumed that it was a teenage boy who had broken into the house wearing some kind of costume. I like this. I like these little tidbits where the witness doesn't immediately say, "Oh, aliens." They think it's some normal thing. So they're not cocked and primed for aliens. They're, they have to be convinced it's an alien. As he moved towards the figure with the truncheon raised, what the hell is a truncheon? God, I gotta go look. Oh, okay. It's just a freaking club. That's all, like a billy club. It must be. Where is this taking place? Where is this? Oh, England. Of course, they have a crazy, stupid Swahili name for everything. A truncheon is a club. It's a baton. Holy hell. Okay. At first, the witness assumed that it was a teenage boy who had broken into the house wearing some kind of costume, and he was going to club it to death with a truncheon. As he moved towards the figure with the truncheon raised, yes, he was going to beat it to death. Okay, then. It did not retreat. It just suddenly vanished into thin air before the witness's eyes. Okay, then. Kind of, sort of, a little bit got my attention. He was able to remember that there was no sign of eyes, nose, or mouth visible through the suit. He then noticed that the battery-operated clock on the kitchen wall had stopped at 1:50 a.m. And what time did he heard this at 2:00? Well, okay then. What we do here, and what we've been doing for years and years and years and years with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these recordings, is that if it's obviously clearly bullshit, we just dismiss it. We don't even discuss it, like we did with the first two. And if there's potentially some little bit of credibility, we say, okay, we take a little teensy pinch of sand and we drop it into a big bucket, and maybe someday that bucket is full of sand. And then if that ever happens, then we say, okay, we believe in aliens because it's, okay, that's how we do it. Okay, so how much sand can we give to this thing? I can give this like 2 grains of sand. 2 grains of sand into the bucket. And, it all adds up. Right now, as of this episode, our bucket is 90.4, maybe like 90.45 full. And we've done 1,400 reports out of our 9,400. So we've got 8,000 left to go. So, see how that works out. Okay, so that's it. 2 grains of sand. Could have happened just like that. I wish you had the video. One thing you got to keep in mind is that the accounts pre-2000, let's say pre-2000, are rife with accounts like this, where somebody wakes up or whatever and they see some aliens and some stuff happens. Okay. And there was never any home security footage of those because there weren't, before then, there really weren't hardly any home security cameras. Well, now there are. So where's the footage? Where's the irrefutable footage? Well, there's a lot of footage out there. You can look at it, and it looks like AI generated. Well, probably is, but is any of it real? There's no way to know anymore. There's no way to know. AI is so good now that I won't even look at videos or photographs or anything anymore after about the year 2000. Because the apps were so good, you could make anything you wanted. And then, of course, now we have AI. So they have no value whatsoever. But anyway, okay, there you go. We're done. And thank you very much. And good evening. Oh, we're in this 22 minutes. Shoot. Ah, man, we're always shooting for like 14 minutes. We never make it. Okay. Thank you very much, and good evening and good night.